throw it in.
No, it's just like I practiced a little bit. Can't find it. I would walk out the grass a little bit. You spent 2 steps or something.
Buddy, look at the post. What's up? Look at Kyle looking clean. You know what? Yeah, that's what I heard. How many pictures are you taking?
Was it the dominant? Yeah.
My buddy John did
Yeah. Should I take this out of my mouth is what I'm saying. Maybe it was W.
I think I seen probably 1 or 2 in the front.
Why bird doing this?
Strong. She goes strong.
I haven't seen her
Oh man. World culture probably still talks about the same stuff.
Small motorcycle near parking East 6th Street. One of the intersections, like it has
Gotta be like some kind of going to
That was dog. It's like sometimes just stay that size. Really?
But a tree. Hey. Maui Jim's on. I see him swag.
House keys ain't she been?
One more time for old time's sake, Jack. I woke up this morning trying to find where the flowers are.
Look. Hey, that was good.
Yeah, okay, good. Send me money.
Always good to see you.
Good to see you. Yes, sir. I just got the full
Are you a king or something?
Oh,
He's just pretending.
rough, tough crowd.
Great. Beautiful day. Okay. Hi.
They got thumbs up right here from her. Oh, there we go. What's the tune?
L-N-O.
Jeff, when we start out?
Repeats. You start at 9.
Starting at 9 right now, right?
And you should have 2 parts. You want first or second?
I'll play first.
Okay.
So let's start off playing
9,
first.
1, 2, 3.
afternoon. I'm so glad that you are here today. Would you please pray with me? Holy One, Holy God, Holy Three. There have been days here at the University of Charleston when the students' burdens have been heavy on their shoulders and weighed them down, when their road seemed dreary and endless, when the skies appeared gray and threatening, when perhaps their lives had no music in them, and when their hearts were lonely and their souls lost their courage. But you, O Holy One, illuminated their path with light, turned their eyes to where the skies are full of promise, tuned their hearts to brave and joyful music, gave them a sense of companionship along the way with wonderful friends, faculty, and staff. And so, O God, quicken our hearts that our students may be able to sincerely appreciate the souls of all who have journeyed with them on this road of life. It is to your honor and glory. Amen. Please be seated.
What a great day it is. It's fantastic. And the people up front think so. Welcome to the 2013 commencement ceremonies for the University of Charleston, and congratulations, 2013 graduates. It's a joyous day of celebration. It's a day for cheering. So, oh say can. UC. Oh say can. UC. You got it. And this university can, and it has, and so today is our quasquicentennial. It's the 125th year that we are concluding at the university, and I've got to wait 125 years to say that again. Each and every one of us has something to celebrate today. It begins, of course, with graduates and extends to parents, spouses, family members, faculty members, staff members, board members, friends of the university who invest in UC so we can provide the learning opportunities that we celebrate today. The path we continue and move on with today began for most of you 3 or 4 years ago. Might be a couple of you who got a head start on that. And there are a few of you who joined us in the journey and complete your studies today. Whatever the path, this day, this hour, this moment is your time. And so whether you're feeling surprised or shocked or relieved or exhausted or happy or all of the above, it's your graduation, your commencement, and your celebration. So congratulations. It is customary to have speakers on commencement, and we are honored to have a distinguished one today. His name is Dr. Robert George. On page 20 in your program, you may read his biography. He is a West Virginian by birth, grew up in Morgantown, and has many family members right here in Charleston. He earned his academic degrees from Swarthmore, Harvard, and Oxford in theology and law. And he is an accomplished musician. We just heard him playing on a little banjo. He is now the McCormick Professor of Jurisprudence and Director of the James Madison Program in American Ideals and Institutions at Princeton University. He took a step down this year to be the visiting professor at Harvard. You understand that if you understand the role of Princeton in the world. But please join me in welcoming to the University of Charleston, Dr. Robert George.
Thank you. Thank you, President Welch. It's so wonderful to be here today to celebrate with all of you and with your families. Here we are on this magnificent day in this beautiful setting with the greatest Capitol building in the United States just behind us. In a few moments, I will have the honor of receiving an honorary degree, and that honor is highly enhanced by my fellow degree recipients, and I want to pay tribute to them. Dr. Bates, whose achievements not only in medicine but in entrepreneurship are inspiring, and Larry Gross, the founder of Mountain Stage, who has blessed our state after arriving here 41 years ago with the intention of staying only 9 months. And it's great that he stayed because he's brought the music of our people, the music of our land, to the entire world. So congratulations, Dr. Bates and Mr. Gross. When I receive that degree, I will be able truly to say that I have it all: a Morgantown upbringing and a Charleston degree. And I want to begin by offering my heartfelt congratulations to all of you who are receiving degrees here today, graduating here today, and to the parents and the grandparents. Let me ask those parents and grandparents, what do you think of these young people? Pretty good, huh? To the graduates themselves, I say it's a great honor for me to participate in this ceremony of recognition of your intellectual achievements and hard work. To the parents and grandparents, I will say what each of the graduates themselves would say if they had this microphone, and that is thank you. Thank you for the love and for the support that made possible your graduates' graduation today, made it possible for them to earn the degrees they are receiving. Thank you, parents and grandparents, for the sacrifices that you made on their behalf. And thank you for being here to share in this joyous celebration. Graduates, what do you think of these parents and grandparents? Also, let me say thank you to the President, President Welch, and members of the university's board and faculty and administration for inviting me to join with these parents and grandparents in honoring these graduates. Graduates, it's your day, not mine. But I do want to say just how proud I am to be made an honorary alumnus of this distinguished institution. I already have a connection with this university because my brother Kent, who is here today, who practices law here in Charleston with the firm of Robinson and McElwee, has been a member of the board and is an emeritus member of the board today. So now I personally have a connection too, and I assure you, President Welch, it is a connection I will cherish. Now, my theme for today is American exceptionalism, and I would like to address it in the context of America's nearly unique character as a nation of immigrants. Now, my purpose is not to comment on current policy debates. That would not be appropriate for an occasion like this. But I want to invite you to join with me in reflecting for just a few minutes on this day, your day, as you commence, as you go out into the world, on what makes our nation exceptional, what validates the claim we make of American exceptionalism. Now, of course, some deny that there is anything exceptional or special in any way about the United States. In their view, we're a nation like other nations. They sometimes suggest that it's sinister or ignorant to think otherwise. Well, I disagree. That the United States is indeed an exceptional nation seems to me to be a proposition whose truth is almost too obvious to debate. Our nation was, as our greatest president said, conceived in liberty and dedicated to the proposition that all men are created equal. And not only was our nation so conceived and so dedicated, we as a nation have proven to the world that a nation so dedicated and conceived can indeed long endure. The history of our nation is the story of we the people, the American people, struggling, sometimes struggling against ourselves, as we in West Virginia know so well from the very way that our state was created, to protect and honor and live up to the exceptional principles around which we have integrated ourselves and constituted ourselves as a people. Of course, we have not always succeeded in living up to those principles. From the very beginning, the stain of slavery marred our founding. But while our record is, to be sure, far from unblemished, we have not been unblessed by success in living up to our truly exceptional values. Now, no one needs me to remind him that part of what is unique about the United States is that our common bonds are not in blood or soil or ethnicity, but rather in a shared moral political creed. We hold these truths to be self-evident. Our Declaration of Independence says that all men are created equal, that they are endowed by their Creator with certain unalienable rights, and among these are life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. It was these words that Lincoln quoted at Gettysburg, these words that the Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King quoted at the Great March in Washington, D.C. Now this is clearest, the truth of these words is clearest, my young friends, in the fact that people really can, in the richest and most robust sense, become Americans. And millions upon millions of people over the decades and now over the centuries have done so. Now, how do immigrants become Americans? Not just citizens of the United States with a passport and a right to vote, but in the full and most robust sense, Americans. In practice, it goes beyond becoming an American citizen and even formally signing on to the American creed. The additional key ingredient, I believe, is something I know intimately from my own family's experience, namely gratitude, the virtue of gratitude. It's typically an immigrant's feelings of gratitude to America for the liberty and the security and the opportunity our nation affords to him and his family that leads to his appreciation of the ideals and institutions of American cultural and economic and civic life, those exceptional ideals. From this appreciation comes his belief in the goodness of those ideals, as articulated in the Declaration of Independence, and the value of the constitutional structures and institutions by which they are effectuated, the institutions that have preserved our freedom over the centuries, made possible the success of an experiment which in 1776, I assure you, was speculative at best. And from this belief arises the immigrant's aspiration to become an American citizen, together with his willingness to shoulder the responsibilities of citizenship and even to make great sacrifices for the nation, should it come to that. My own immigrant grandfathers came to the United States a little over 100 years ago. Like most immigrants then and now, they were not drawn here by any abstract philosophical belief in the superiority of the American system. My father's father came from Syria, that troubled land, troubled then, just as it is troubled now. He was fleeing the oppression of the Ottoman rulers of the time as a member of a relatively small Christian minority in a religiously troubled country. My mother's father came to escape the poverty of southern Italy. And both of these grandfathers worked on the railroads and in the mines in Appalachia. My maternal grandfather settled in the town of Star City, near Morgantown, where I was born and brought up. He was able to save enough money to buy a little grocery store, start a little grocery store, which soon became a flourishing business, typical American story. My father's dad, on the other hand, spent his entire life as a laborer. Like other immigrant families, mine were exceedingly grateful for what America made possible for them. Their gratitude was not diminished when times got hard, as they did for my father's family and for so many, many other Americans in the Great Depression. Like so many immigrants, my immigrant grandparents particularly appreciated the opportunities that America made available to their children. My father's father had a sister. She, too, an immigrant from Syria. And the sister had a son, my father's first cousin. His name was John Solomon, and the son wanted to be a lawyer. Well, he finished college and then completed law school at West Virginia University, something that would have been impossible for a poor family in his mother's homeland. Now, the law school in those days, some of the older folks here will remember it, was on University Avenue in Morgantown. It was a grand building near the center of the campus, and you entered the building by walking up a broad set of stairs. Well, when my cousin John's mother, we knew her as Halte Jamile, came to attend her son's graduation, this little immigrant lady stopped to kiss each step as she ascended those stairs. Such was her joy on a day like the day you are having today, and such was her gratitude for what her new country made possible for her son. Now, of course, her son was thoroughly embarrassed by his mother's display. My father, who is here today and who was there at the time, tells me that his cousin John turned to his mother at about the fourth step, President Welch, and pleaded with her, "Mom, please, you are acting like an immigrant." Indeed, she was. Such was her gratitude to this magnificent land of liberty and opportunity. Now, I talked a moment ago about how gratitude for liberty, security, and opportunity leads immigrants to an appreciation of America's exceptional ideals and institutions, and in turn gives rise to an aspiration of citizenship and a willingness to bear the responsibilities and even make the sacrifices that sometime come. 4 of my paternal grandparents' 5 sons were drafted into the U.S. military to serve in the Second World War, my father among them. I recently had the privilege of being with him in Washington, D.C. at the French Embassy, where the French ambassador conferred upon him the Medal of the Legion of Honor of France for his contributions to the liberation of France. My father's here today. Would you recognize him? Joseph George, Chevalier of the Legion of Honor of France. My dad and his brothers served in combat and returned with decorations. Their immigrant parents were immensely proud of them precisely because they fought for America and for what Americans stood for. Even though my father's parents didn't speak English, barely spoke English at all, could barely speak it, they considered that their sons were fighting not for a foreign country in which they were aliens, but for their country, a country in which they were not mere residents, aliens, or guests. They were fighting for a country that was not only great but good, a country whose ideals were noble, a country to whom they were immensely grateful, and not merely because it provided a haven from poverty and oppression, a country whose principles they believed in. Now, I have the sense that my uncle's service to the nation, and I'm sure many of your relatives' service to the nation, was not only an expression of their Americanism and the Americanism of their immigrant parents and grandparents, it was a profound confirmation and ratification of it. If they had any doubts in their minds whether they truly and fully were Americans as their fellow citizens who had come over on the Mayflower, military service erased those doubts. I dare say that the same was true and has always been true, just in case any native-born citizens had any doubts about whether their immigrant neighbors really were Americans. The willingness of immigrants and their children to take risks, and in many cases to be counted among the fallen, leaves the question of allegiance and American identity in no doubt. Now, I've been talking about how gratitude launches immigrants on the path to becoming Americans. It's happened to millions. There are countless permutations of the story, but they are permutations of the same story. For many of you, I'm sure that when you hear me tell the story of my grandparents and great-grandparents, you are thinking of stories not dissimilar of your grandparents and great-grandparents and how they became Americans. The amazing and wonderful thing is that a family story like mine of immigrant ancestors becoming Americans and sharing in the blessings of American life and coming to believe in American principles is not the exception. It's the norm. And because it's the norm, this is truly an exceptional country. Now, of course, the story of Africans brought to America as slaves and then subjected to segregation and discrimination even after slavery was legally abolished is a radically different one, a story of injustice, and as I said earlier, a stain upon the nation. Yet the great efforts to right those wrongs and live up to our national ideals of liberty and justice are also part of the American heritage. When we think of the Declaration of Independence, we think not only of Thomas Jefferson, not only of Abraham Lincoln quoting those words. We think, as I said earlier, of Dr. King asking the country to make good on the check that had been written in that declaration in 1776. When we do strive to live up to our ideals. We are our very best selves. Where we disagree amongst ourselves about their meaning and application to particular policy questions, as sometimes we will, sometimes we do today, we can still honor those ideals by conducting our debates in an honorable fashion, treating each other with civility and mutual respect. That's what's called for. Not agreement, honorable disagreement. Ladies and gentlemen, the transmission of our exceptional principles to immigrants and indeed to anyone, including new generations of native-born Americans, depends on the maintenance of a culture in which these ideals can flourish. They can't flourish just in any old culture. We need to be concerned about the virtues and the qualities of the culture that enable those ideals to be real for us, preserving our freedom for future generations. Now, the maintenance of such a culture is a complicated business, one with many dimensions. But in this nation of immigrants, this democratic nation of immigrants, in which we, the people, you and me and all of our fellow citizens, have the privilege and responsibility of governing ourselves, this business of cultural maintenance is everybody's business, every citizen's business. And it's certainly, President Welch, the special business of institutions of higher learning, such as this distinguished university. For such institutions, civic education that advances the understanding of our nation's constitutional principles and institutions is a high calling and a very, very solemn obligation. If, as James Madison said, and I quote him, "Only a well-educated people can permanently be a free people," and that is true, then what the University of Charleston seeks to do in its programs in this state is vital to the success of the grand experiment in ordered liberty that Madison and the other founding fathers bequeathed to us and to our posterity. Graduates, this great experiment in ordered liberty, rare in human history, fragile and easily lost, in need of constant vigilance and maintenance. This grand experiment in ordered liberty is now in your hands and the hands of your generation. With God's help, may you nurture and preserve it, and may you hand it on, strengthened and refreshed by your good and noble efforts, to generations to come. Mr. President, again, thank you for the honor of addressing these distinguished graduates, and may God bless you and the University of Charleston. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. George, for that inspiring address. At public occasions of universities, it is traditional to provide special recognition to individuals who are living lives of distinction and inspiration. Today, the University of Charleston will bestow honorary degrees on 3 such individuals. You can find their bibliographic information in the back of your program. Dr. Scott Bellamy, Dean of the School of Business and Leadership, will present the candidate of our first honorary degree.
Mr. President, on behalf of the faculty, I'm pleased to present Dr. Robert P. George for the degree Doctor of Letters.
Politicians, Supreme Court justices, and media pundits now acknowledge your role as one of the country's most influential conservative thinkers. You were once an altar boy, and then an Oxford grad, and a presidential appointee to commissions. For your work at the intersection of academia, religion, and politics, and because you dare to take a leadership role in addressing some of the country's most controversial issues. The University of Charleston grants you the Doctor of Letters degree with all of the rights, honors, and privileges appertaining thereto. Congratulations. You want to say additional words? Okay, great.
Dr. Barbara Wright, Dean of the School of Arts and Sciences, will present the candidate for our second honorary degree.
Mr. President, on behalf of the faculty, I am pleased to present to you Mr. Larry Gross for the degree Doctor of Music.
You have brought music to West Virginia and to the world, recording 23 albums, singing Junk Food Junkie. It was a great hit. Helping to found Mountain Stage and serving as a musician in residence at schools in 20 states and creating Festival here in Charleston. You have received many recognitions from others. You have championed that Winnie the Pooh ought to be President of the United States. Don't know if those two are related or not. Each week you open Mountain Stage by singing, "There's a spring in the mountain and it flows down to the town. From the river to the ocean it goes the whole world round." Because you have pushed music out from Charleston, West Virginia to the whole world around, we are proud to bestow upon you the degree Doctor of Music, honoris causa. Say words.
Thank you very much, Dr. Welch, and the faculty, the board of directors, and all of you folks that are here today. Congratulations to you all. You probably wonder why somebody like me is up here with a man of letters and a man of science. I wonder the same thing. But I appreciate it very much, and I hope that you did listen to what Dr. George told you there, because gratitude is the most important thing that you can come away today with in your heart. Nobody owes us anything. Those of us at Mountain Stage and those of us at Festival Charleston, where I work, and many of our team is here, we know that. The only thing you're owed is respect. After that, it's up to you. So congratulations to you and good luck. Thank you.
Dr. Michelle Easton, Dean of the School of Pharmacy, will present the candidate of our third honorary degree.
Mr. President, on behalf of the faculty, I am pleased to present to you Dr. Mark Bates for the degree Doctor of Science.
At the ripe old age of 16, you created a laser light system for the Sound and Light Show Company you founded to entertain at dances and parties. Your work with laser physics ultimately led to the development of an ultrasound laser system for opening human arteries. You were a pioneer in using stents in places other than the heart, and you have taught physicians around the world how to do so. You hold or have patents pending for more than 60 medical devices, and yet nurses and physicians say you are one of the most caring physicians they have ever known. The University of Charleston is pleased to recognize you with the Doctor of Science degree for having the heart of a physician, the tenacity and creativity of an entrepreneur, and the soul of a teacher. Congratulations.
Dr. Welch and the Board of Trustees for the University of Charleston, distinguished guests, and more importantly, these beautiful young people who are sitting here in front of us today, congratulations. I'm honored and humbled to be here today. I would say to each young, vibrant person in the crowd, go forward with what you believe in. Don't let anyone else tell you that what you believe in can't be done. Stay strong and believe in yourself.
The University Concert Choir, under the direction of Joseph Yanish, will come and present the selection. You rise up. Thank you. We will now proceed with the conferring of the degrees. Will the candidates for all associate degrees please stand? President Welch, I have the privilege of presenting to you the candidates for the Associate of Arts in Nursing and the Associate in Science degrees. These men and women have completed or are scheduled to complete the requirements for their respective degrees and have been approved by the faculty. I therefore request that you confer upon them the appropriate degree.
By the authority vested in me by the Board of Trustees of the University of Charleston and by the State of West Virginia, and upon the unanimous recommendation of the faculty, I confer upon each of you the Associate of Arts in Nursing degree with all of the rights, honors, and privileges appertaining thereto. Congratulations.
Please be seated. Will the candidates for all bachelor's degrees please stand? President Welch, I have the privilege of presenting to you the candidates for the Bachelor of Arts, Bachelors of Science, and Bachelor of Science in Nursing degrees. These men and women have completed or are scheduled to complete the requirements of their respective degrees and have been approved by the faculty. I therefore request that you confer upon them the appropriate degree.
By the authority vested in me by the Board of Trustees of the University of Charleston and by the State of West Virginia, and upon the unanimous recommendation of the faculty, I confer upon each of you the bachelor's degree appropriate to your course of study, with all of the rights, honors, and privileges appertaining thereto. Congratulations.
Please be seated. Will the candidates for all master's degrees please stand? President Welch, I have the privilege of presenting to you the candidates for the Master of Business Administration, Masters of Forensic Accounting, and the Masters of Business Administration and Leadership degrees. These men and women have completed or are scheduled to complete the requirements for their respective degree and have been approved by the faculty. I therefore request that you confer upon them the appropriate degree.
Have you learned this yet? It's important formality. By the authority vested in me by the Board of Trustees of the University of Charleston and by the State of West Virginia, and upon the unanimous recommendation of your faculty, I confer upon each of you the master's degree appropriate to your course of study, with all of the rights, honors, and privileges appertaining thereto. Congratulations.
Please be seated. Last one, I promise. Will the candidates for all doctoral degrees please stand? President Welch, I have the privilege of presenting to you the candidates for the Doctor of Pharmacy degree. These men and women have completed or are scheduled to complete the requirements for their respective degree and have been approved by their faculty. I therefore request that you confer upon them the appropriate degree.
It's a privilege for us to have a School of Pharmacy and for me to be able to say to you, by the authority vested in me by the Board of Trustees of the University of Charleston and by the State of West Virginia, and upon the unanimous recommendation of the faculty, I confer upon each of you the Doctor of Pharmacy degree, with all of the rights, honors, and privileges appertaining thereto. Congratulations, doctors.
Dr. Sandra Bowles, the University Grand Marshal, will now escort the graduates to the platform to receive their diplomas and congratulations from President Welch and from Dr. Henry Harmon, who is Chair of the University Board of Trustees. Dr. Barbara Wright, Dean of the School of Arts and Sciences, will greet the graduates of the School of Arts and Sciences, the Morris Harvey Division. Emily K. Ashby. Elizabeth Marie Belcher, summa cum laude. Daniel Nicole Bishop, summa cum laude and Welsh colleague. Leanne Brown, summa cum laude. Jessica Rochelle Cowden. Pauline Crisafulli. Mary Caitlin DeVore. Emily Dolan, summa cum laude and Welsh colleague. Sarah Fluharty. Brandon Lee Gray. Marissa Grifka, sorry. Ashley Holt. Casey Lauren Jordan. Hajar Jogloff, summa cum laude. Justin Kimbler. Claudia Jean Lemieux. Ross L. May. Kelly Nicole McClanahan. Brittany Lee McComas. Reagan Ashley Meadows. Cheryl Mackenzie Mize, cum laude, Welsh colleague. Sarah Beth Monk, summa cum laude. Christy Nicholas. Andrew Amos Okahara. Alexander D. Oldham. Stephanie Brooke Paxton, cum laude. Jenna Rachel Perot. Michelle Lee Randolph, summa cum laude. Leela Dawn Reedy, summa cum laude. Christy Lynn Sayers, summa cum laude. Walter Vincent Scriptunas II. Jessica Snyder, summa cum laude. Sean Teepen. Ellen Elizabeth Wells, magna cum laude. Richard Sherwood Williams III. Justin B. Woods. The following students are receiving a Bachelor of Science degree. Ulabude James Agave. Let me do that. Do you want to do it for me? Alave. Deborah L. Amos, summa cum laude. Emily Elizabeth Anderkin, Welch College, magna cum laude. Kelsey Dawn Ash, summa cum laude. Susan Kistner Burneth. Sierra Austin May Bias, summa cum laude, Welch College. Erica Bracey, Welch College. Robert E. Cieslak, Welch College. John R. Cochran. Courtney R. Cole. Kendall Marie Collins, cum laude, Welch College. Cassandra Lee Cook, Welch College. Leah Kraut, summa cum laude. Aisha Davis. Randy Lynn Dillon, cum laude and Welch College. Ashley Douglas, cum laude. Stephanie Farley, magna cum laude and Welch College. Garen Todd Gray, Welch College. Bradley Caleb Harris, magna cum laude, Welch College. Vivian Matilda Lynn Hunt. Moses Benjamin Ibrahim. Christine Keir. Joanna Kelly. Joanna Kelly. Kimberly A. Kerr, magna cum laude. Kimberly A. Kerr, David Kaiser, cum laude. Sorry. Justin Edward Lester, magna cum laude. Marla Jean Lewis, cum laude. Marcus Allen Linville. Jenny Suzanne Long, cum laude. Autumn Colette Martin. Samantha McWilliams. Jennifer Lee Meadows. Leah. Joel Miller. Parker T. Moore, cum laude. Ryan Austin Osborne, cum laude. Shelby Lynn Patel, cum laude. Sarah Shields. Sarah is also receiving an associate degree in nursing. Benjamin C. Smith, magna cum laude. Elise Maria Serba, cum laude. Louis Anthony Taylor, cum laude. Dalton J.M. Thibodeau. Joshua B. Weinberg. Devin Sky Williams, cum laude. Scott Workman, summa cum laude. Adam Leah Wyatt. Travis William Zimmerman. Thank you, Dr. White. Dr. Scott Bellamy, Dean of the School of Business, will greet the graduates of the School of Business, Herbert Jones Undergraduate Division. The following students are receiving a Bachelor of Science degree. Amanda Sue Anderson. Justin Chandler Avery, cum laude. Ben Biswick. Jared Paul Bluxton, summa cum laude. Nicole Berger. Daryl A. Bird. Lucas Keith Catlett, cum laude. Shane Chaplin. Brittany Roxanne Connolly, cum laude. Courtney Doro. Kelsey May Eby. Catherine Drewhart Folks Field, magna cum laude. Amanda Lynn Fields, magna cum laude. Noah Anthony Fisher, magna cum laude. Faith Yvonne Funderburk. Shaw Guy. Anthony J. Gilmer, cum laude. Jeffrey Walker Green. Mallory Lynn Hardison, cum laude. Adam J. Hintz. Samuel E. Humphrey. Sage A. Icavone. Samuel Lucas V. Maria Lungu, cum laude, Welch College. Dylan E. March. Igor Maloney. Molina. Igor Malonia. Malonia. Lin Fong Nong. I got that one. Jasmine Perez. Caitlin Elizabeth Reed, summa cum laude. Andrew William Rife, cum laude. Mary Beth Romine. Holly Sabatka, magna cum laude. John Frederick Schreier. Mark Richard Simonton, magna cum laude. Jessie Sue Spates, summa cum laude, Welch College. Eric Matthew Stolnicker, magna cum laude. Adam Stolings, summa cum laude. Janine Vasquez. Elizabeth Danielle Wright, summa cum laude. Justin Stefan Young. Thank you, Dr. Bellamy. Dr. Joseph Kaler, Dr. Joe Kaler, Dean of the School of Health Sciences, will greet the graduates of the School of Health Sciences. The following students are receiving an Associate of Arts in Nursing degree. Michelle Acevas, High Honors. Amy Lynn Adkins, Honors. Joseph Edward Cantley. Stephanie Lee Deverex. Felicia Fry. Ashley Janine Holstein, Honors. Tammy Jo Jenkins. Brenda Nettles, High Honors. Angela Lee Norman. Mary Orcutt Rivera, High Honors. Angel Victoria Vance. Harley Nicole Woodson. The following students are receiving a Bachelor of Science in Nursing. Susan V. Adams. Casey Noel Faber. Amanda Megnia, cum laude. Ashley Nutzling. Jessica R. Paschal. Jeffrey A. Patrick, cum laude. Rebecca Roberts, cum laude. Jacqueline Lee Scarberry. Kyle Leland Snyder. The following students are receiving a Bachelor of Science degree. Jennifer Elizabeth George, cum laude. Kaylee Michelle McCormick. Sarah Ann McCune. Noah Miller, magna cum laude. Chelsea R. Short. Lauren Caitlin Westbrook. Heather Workman, cum laude. Mindy Jo Young. Thank you, Dr. Kaler. Dr. Scott Bellamy, Dean of the School of Business, will now greet those receiving master's degrees. The following students are receiving a master's degree in Business Administration. Ms. Latifa Ahmad. Lana Jean Cripps. David W. Mullins. Timothy Allen Runyon. Brandon Amos Shinaberry. The following students are receiving a Master of Forensic Accounting degree. Valencia Marquise Anderson. Lindsay Megan Counts. Jason Lee Harmon. Brittany Lee Lyle. Mary Catherine Ryland. The following students are receiving a Master's of Business Administration and Leadership. Jin Wan Yuan. Stephen Chase Mooney. Yan King Chow. Xinwan Song. Cao Zi Zhang. Thank you, Dr. Bellamy. Dr. Michelle Easton, Dean of the School of Pharmacy, will now greet those receiving Doctor of Pharmacy degrees. Dr. Lindsay Suzanne Acree. Dr. Sandra Asan. Dr. Shay Aodell. Dr. Aaron James Beagle. Dr. Fawn Marie Bridges. Dr. Kevin Cantrell. Dr. Tiffany Cole, cum laude. Dr. Sonny Cook, cum laude. Dr. Todd Aaron Cooper. Dr. Ashley Michelle Copley. Dr. Jason Keith Daniels. Dr. Mark Deland, magna cum laude. Dr. Haley Lynn DeMay. Dr. Min Win Do. Dr. Joseph S. Driggers. Dr. Krista Michelle Duncan. Dr. Lauren Lynette Durst. Dr. Patrick Ryan Duty, cum laude. Dr. Nikki Lynn Epperly. Dr. Patrick Ray Evans. Dr. Marcus Kent Gunter. Dr. Jason Hamrick. Dr. Kayla Marie Heinzman. Dr. Brianna Marie Husted. Dr. Dwight Lee Kiefer. Dr. Tyler Forrest Knight. Dr. Connie Lee. Dr. James Lawrence Leonard. Dr. Alicia J. Maynard. Dr. Stephanie Ann McDonald. Dr. Ashley Lauren McKnight. Dr. An Nguyen. Dr. Aaron Mitchell Norris. Dr. Emmanuel Oding Otu. Dr. Francis Opong Asante. Dr. Arpan Patel. Dr. Gancham Patel, magna cum laude. Dr. Poonam Patel. Dr. Sandip Patel. Dr. Sarah Ann Pfister. Dr. Thomas Pyle. Kleinmel's not here. This is Pyle. Kleinmel's not here. Natalie? Dr. Natalie Medina Saldana. Dr. Emmanuel T. Sarpong. Dr. Justin Michael Schoolcraft. Dr. Ryan M. Severin. Dr. Valerie Michelle Six. Dr. Christopher John Thomas. Dr. Isaac Dickerson Thompson. Dr. Keith D. Thompson. Dr. Ginger Marie Vance. Dr. Tina Renee Vance. Dr. Joseph Richard Walton. Dr. Jessica Nicole Weaver. Dr. Dennis Matthew Weddington. Dr. Danielle Chambers Wilson. Dr. Amanda Dawn Wolf, cum laude. Dr. Joshua Timothy Workman. Dr. Jennifer Elizabeth Worley. Dr. Carrie Elizabeth Wright, summa cum laude. Okay, we can give a round of applause for everybody right now. Congratulations. I want to take this opportunity to thank two extremely important groups who've helped all of us get to this day. The first group includes the family members of our graduates. Will all the family members please rise and recognize our thanks, and my apologies if I messed up your name. The second group is the faculty and staff. These individuals have worked and dedicated their lives and their many hours to the education of our students. Will all the members of the faculty and staff please rise and be recognized for their great efforts? In particular today, we are celebrating the work of two faculty members. These individuals will be leaving the ranks of full-time faculty and entering the rank of retired faculty. The faculty administration have agreed that these faculty members have contributed greatly to student learning and to the university. They are being awarded the status of emeritus faculty. Dr. Philip Clem, professor of biology, could not be with us today. Dr. Joe Blackwood has served 16 years in the education program, serving as faculty and chair throughout this time. She has brought many creative ideas to help our students excel as they educate the students and the children of the world. We thank her for her great contribution to the university. Dr. Blackwood, please stand and receive our gratitude. Ladies and gentlemen, I have the high privilege of presenting to you the University of Charleston class of 2013. Will the entire class of 2013 stand and receive our recognition?
You may be seated. Thank you. We recognize and celebrate all graduates by recognizing an outstanding senior in the undergraduate senior class. The names of the students who have been nominated for this recognition are included in your program, and I invite those students to stand at this point. And these 12 students are indeed exemplary. Their cumulative grade point average is 3.72. 6 are graduating in 3 years. They've served in 49 student organizations and provided service to 40 charitable organizations. There are 4 student athletes, 3 Welch colleagues, and 5 peer educators. We congratulate each of you for your superlative academic success, your meaningful contributions to the university, and your wider service to the greater community. You indeed make us proud. I now invite to join me on stage the person selected to represent these students and the entire graduating class of 2013. The outstanding student for 2013 is Ms. Hajar Juglov. Hajar has been a mentor at West Virginia Starbase, a program that encourages students to pursue STEM-related fields. She's the co-founder and director of the first-year student red carpet event, has been president of Pi Gamma Mu, vice president of the Black Student Association, a member of the Public Policy Political Science Club, Students in Free Enterprise, UC Alliance, Young Democrats, Student Activities Board, and a staff writer for The Eagle when she didn't have anything else to do. She's graduating with a 4.0 average, majoring in political science and history, and a minor in communications. Once then plans to attend law school at American University. Her dream is to serve on the United Nations International Law Council, and we will tell that to Dr. George, and maybe he can help her. So, Hajar, congratulations.
I am honored and blessed to be around my cohort, and I'm honored. Thank you, Dr. Welch. Thank you, Dr. Zook, and thank you, University of Charleston, for giving me this opportunity to represent you. And thank you, Mom, Dad, my family, Hallie, Stacy, Dr. Adams, all of you. You know who you are. Thank you so much for this opportunity. I just can't be more thankful. University of Charleston has been a great scholarship opportunity, and I never regretted a day being here. Thank you.
Following this service, there will be a reception in the rotunda of Riggleman Hall. All of you are invited to participate. That's right up there behind you. Graduates, you have heard many times the mission of the institution, and if you wish, you may say it with me. The mission of the University of Charleston is to educate each student for a life, productive work. Fantastic. Not many schools can do that, or many graduates can do that. My prayer and wish for you is that you live that mission every day. May you join other alumni in making us proud of you and make this world, as you heard from our speaker, a better place for each and every one of us. Thank you. Congratulations. We are so proud of you.
You ready? We'll now rise and do and be led in the alma mater.
For all that has been, we say thanks. For all that will be, we say yes. Go in peace. Amen.